What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you on Fisker. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out from the company itself, and what some investors can expect next. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So based on Friday, it went down 2.69%, a fair amount of volume for a Friday. So 47.7 million shares being traded, 33.4 is the average. It did come very close to a new 52 weekend all-time low of 76.27 cents. I'm going to go over technicals and how that plays into everything. But surprisingly enough, they did put out some PR after hours on Friday, so that did prompt it to go up 6.42%. I don't know if it's really justified because the news right here is just Fisker issues statement on 𝗪𝗓𝗪 preliminary evaluation, and it just says that Fisker is fully cooperating on this matter. I guess there was a complaint that was brought up about maybe defect in their brakes of sorts from what I can see right here. So in reality, I think Fisker did the right thing just by putting out PR. I don't know if that 6.42% after hours is justified or not. We'll just have to see if that does translate for it to be higher going into next week or not. But still, what's your thoughts on this in the comments below? Aside from this news, there was this that did come out since my last update. So Fisker to introduce luxurious Fisker Ocean Extreme Monterey Edition. So it looks like they're going to be providing a little bit more context on the price and whatever else in the second half of 2024. So they'll be starting to take orders, and I think this is a good thing. Is it a reason to go out and buy Fisker? Not really. So I feel like this is something I did bring up in my last video. Fisker, you can tell, is really trying. They know that they are on a very dangerous spiral downwards, so they need to do something. So I feel like this is good news, but at the same aspect, it's not a hey, I need to stop what I'm doing and go buy Fisker right now. So it's just a very crappy scenario for Fisker. And over and above that, you do have just shorts adding so much selling pressure to Fisker, and so they do have a motive behind the scenes. I'm going to talk on that in a second. I actually did do a video under my other channel, Trending Stocks, on the top 5 stocks to kind of watch for this upcoming week that have the highest short interest. And yours truly, Fisker, did have spot number 5. So I'm going to go over shorts and everything else that you need to know. But as well, one thing that I just wanted to kind of explain is this upcoming week. So these are all the companies unveiling their earnings, and you do see big bad Tesla after hours on Wednesday. So even though Fisker and Tesla are nowhere near kind of in the same realm, but essentially, if there is a negative, maybe future guidance that is given by Tesla or some other aspect, that is going to trickle down to everyone. So once again, like I already mentioned, shorts are going to jump all over that and cause Fisker to go down dramatically. And even more so with the current downtrend it is on, it's getting kicked by analysts. So there was a new analyst rating that came out about 3 days ago, a hold rating, or well, I guess a downgrade essentially, for a $1 price target, and that was done by TD Cowen, Jeff, who does have a 41% success rating. So not necessarily the best. But once again, I'm just going to quickly jump over to shorts and give you a breakdown of that. So on Friday, shorts did increase 610.99 thousand shares. 51.34% of the free float is being shorted. That is insane. So this is where it did solidify stock number, or I guess position number 5. So Fisker is the 5th most heavily shorted stock on the market. Crazy stuff. But 109.95 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 23.82 on the threshold list, and through here, through Interactive Broker short availability, does indicate around 250,000 shares is available to be shorted. So potentially, if there is a good piece of news that does come out from Fisker itself, or maybe if Tesla comes out with amazing news that's going to kind of cause a domino effect through the EV market, causing it to go higher. I don't know, maybe that might prompt a short squeeze, but right now shorts have full control over Fisker. And even if you kind of scrape away all this BS right here, you can see they have had a field day. So technically back in early mid-December, it was around 38% short interest, and they have doubled down. So where the S&P 500 hit a new record and all-time high on Friday, so did Fisker with the short interest. So 51.34% is very, very high. And so moving on though, talking on some other data points and sentiment. So right here, looking at options, $393,000 in calls being purchased versus 461,000 in puts. Sentiment wise, 51% of all the options being done on Friday were optimistic, so that's kind of a good thing. At the same time, you have to be very cautious by reading and interpreting this information, because shorts. So typically, if you're just reading this data for a non-shorted stock, then yes, you can take everything for face value. But what shorts typically do is they increase their position, and then what they do is they just hedge with options. So for instance, they can just buy a $1 call option, because essentially if Fisker for whatever reason comes out with amazing news and the stock price goes up, then shorts are covered, right? Anything over $1, it can go to $10, $20, and shorts will not be squeezed out of their position because they have that hedge of call options. So even though it does show 51% of everything being purchased was bullish, I'm sure some of that was just shorts hedging. And of the call options that were being purchased, there was a large amount at that $1 strike price, like I said. So maybe just retail, big money, or could be just shorts hedging. So there's an anticipation for it to go above $1. So that's kind of a good thing if you think about it. Looking at puts though, it is anticipated for it to be sub 50 cents in the coming weeks. So more of a continuation of the downtrend. And this is more so matching the Elliott wave technicals. So a lot of people do really like the Elliott wave technicals and whatever else. So I'll quickly just show you what they are projecting. So looking at the fundamentals, it is projecting roughly a price target around 57 cents. So that's not good. And so this is kind of where I can group everything together and talk on what shorts bigger plan is. So by shorts increasing and thus adding selling pressure to the stock, they want to keep it below $1. And for those of you that don't know a lot of the NASDAQ rulings, a lot of stocks on the NASDAQ have to stay above $1. That seems to be just a very strong pivot point for it, because if a stock does trade below $1 for 30 consecutive trading days, then it will be deemed deficient on that $1 bid price rule. So as it stands, it has been 4 days consecutively that Fisker has been below $1. And once again, if it does reach that 30, then potentially Fisker could be on the chopping block. And this is where a lot of stocks on the NASDAQ spiral down, because then they start to do reverse stock splits and whatever else. You can kind of see right here, Fisker has never done any reverse stock splits, never has done any forward splits, nothing like that. So that's kind of a good thing, but Fisker is getting very much dangerously close to what a lot of, I guess, meme stocks do. And this is actually funny enough, one of the latest articles that did come out about Fisker is just saying that StockTwits of any place in reality is calling Fisker a meme stock. So just tread lightly. I'm not a financial advisor, like I already said, but a lot of the data points are pointing to it trending down. And the company itself does need to do something to rectify this, to save this, because big money is wanting this to go down. And it's very unfortunate, because these are some of the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market above $100,000. So the last one was on January the 11th. And so once again, it kind of shows that big money is not willing to buy Fisker. And of course, rightfully so. Like I've said in previous videos, Fisker has messed up royally time and time again. So it kind of is escalating this downtrend because of their own actions, and shorts are just laughing. So shorts are just making so much money on the sidelines just by continuing to add so much pressure. Retail is obviously getting discouraged by the price action, because even if you go back over here, like Fisker over the last 1 year is down 88%. Even for those investors that got in over the last, let's say 6 months, or even the 1 month, they're down 51.88%. It's absolutely crazy, and this is just killing any willingness to hold long for Fisker. So it is a very crappy scenario that is happening. And of course, you can already tell just based on everything that I do see, it does look like it will continue to trend down. As bad as I really wish I could say a lot more optimistic stuff, but the options, the shorts, all that information is pointing to lower lows, even with the Elliott wave technicals. Some very strong support and resistance points that you need to watch for, especially for this upcoming week, is going to be this. So this S3. So with it at 78 cents where it did close, it's trading between this S3 and this S2. So around 72 cents is going to be a very strong support. Vice versa, 88 cents is going to be that next strong resistance, and then 97, and then going to be that psychological $1. So if Fisker is going to get above this $1 range, so obviously to avoid any potential issues with the NASDAQ in the foreseeable future, then they need to get on top of it faster, or I guess sooner rather than later. Let me know your thoughts on Fisker. I know a lot of people do really like it. Behind the scenes, they are really trying. You can tell that based on, like I said, the news. Just a lot of the data points are looking very, very tricky. And looking right here, number of retail investors have been getting out. It looks like since January the 2nd, give or take. So retail has been getting out. Stochastic is currently at 4, so that is considered very oversold. But if there is a good piece of news that does come out, then you're going to see a lot of value investors rushing into Fisker. Just that needs to be substantial. So like I said, this 6.42% after hours, I don't know if this news does justify, if it does justify it to go up 6.42%. In my opinion, I would say no, but then again, I don't know. Who knows? I don't really know much of the actual original complaint to see what it was all about. So once again, if you know about that, drop that in the comments below. With that said though, I appreciate all of you watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo by simply signing up for an account with moo. Throw $100 at it and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.